There's nothing ever visible. It feels like it's bruised, I guess, but
How do you know what a bruise feels like if you've never had one?
It just feels tender, like it hurts.
We're gonna bruise you.
Try. You can punch me right now as hard as you can.
Let's not talk about. Why do every podcast we talk about hurting you in some way?
Well, I invited this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
you
we
did.
did. No, we're not doing it. But have you ever? Let me ask you this: have you ever had a headache?
From drinking, yeah.
Yeah, I went the first 25 years of my life and I never had a headache. I never even had a hangover.
Did you think you were gonna die like during your first headache?
People would talk about headaches, and I thought like, oh, I guess I think I've had one, and then I finally had just a regular headache, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's what it is.
You were like Bruce Willis in Unbreakable. You're like, I guess I've never been sick. I've never really been hurt.
Can I say I haven't gotten sick in a long time?
You're an idiot.
You jinxed
Nope.
yourself.
You've done it.
Fuck you, because all of you guys got sick. And I knew it. Michael got sick. He was like patient 0, and then everyone
He's
around
been
him
sick
got
for like 2 weeks at this point.
Yeah, Jeff's sick too, right?
Everyone's sick.
You say it with such disgust.
Are you sick?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's that healthy British immune system.
No, I thought you were one of the guys who went down. I thought you had a.
I had a sore throat for like a day, and that was good.
And you're like, I can't be bothered.
Well, I always find that it's mental, because sometimes if you feel like you're getting sick, you just start feeling it, and then you give in and you become sick. But the last few times I've had that feeling, I've just been like, I'm not doing it. I'm not
wish I had your willpower.
I'm not gonna do it this time, and I'll skip it. I'll get like a bit groggy for a day, and then it's whoop, straight back up.
Really?
I haven't been sick for years.
You would make the world's shittiest doctor. Is that your advice? Is like, oh, you're getting sick? Yeah, just don't do that.
Just
you know.
imagine
Do that
you're
less.
not sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Fine.
But you can cure hiccups that way. Have you ever done that where you just what are you laughing at?
Well, I imagine someone coming to you and they say, Dr. Free, I have cancer. And you go, oh, I got that. Stop. Give it up.
Just cut it out. Just stop it.
If you think of the next hiccup, if you wait for it, it will never come.
Is it like-
Absolutely not true.
That's
No,
not true.
it's true.
That's not true at all.
Sometimes like you'll think about something else, you'll be talking, it'll be like, you'll just get it. It will just interrupt you. If you do nothing else other than focus just on the next one and just be ready for it, just be ready to pounce, like it will never happen, and then you'll never have hiccups.
What exactly would you pounce?
I don't know, just be ready to like not be caught off guard by it, because a hiccup always catches you off guard.
Brace yourself.
You know how they always say you could scare someone with hiccups and it stops the hiccups?
Yeah.
One time I saw my dog had the hiccups. I'd never seen a dog with hiccups. And I was like,
I like where this
he's
is
got
going.
the hiccups. And he was like just sitting there on the floor like hiccuping. So I jumped up and started screaming at him. And he like started running around all panicked. Didn't hiccup again.
I didn't know a
Cried
dog
a lot, but no hiccups.
Cured the dog.
scarred mentally for life, but fine.
But
He doesn't let me pet him anymore, but you know, whatever.
I can cure my hiccups. If I get hiccups, I just drink water in a certain way. I don't know how to.
Do you drink out the other side of the cup?
Nope. I just drink it and swallow in a certain way, and my hiccups are gone every single time.
That's what she said.
No, she never said that. She never talked about her hiccups ever. Hey, I want to point something out. So last week on the podcast, we started taking questions from the audience and interacting with the audience via chat. That was a big mess.
That was crazy.
So we're not doing that. We actually have Barbara right over here off camera, off screen, and she is on Twitter right now. I think it's on screen. They're telling people to tweet to pound RT Podcast.
Hashtag RT Podcast.
Hashtag RT Podcast.
Why do you call it pound?
It's a pound symbol. It's a pound sign.
Because it's weird, because on the British keyboard, that thing isn't there, but it is a pound, but the currency of a pound. So I
Really?
always get confused when you call it pound. I'm thinking you're talking about
You don't have that hashtag thing?
We do, it's somewhere else
Oh, it's somewhere else.
on the keyboard.
Yeah, we don't have the pound symbol anywhere. Nowhere. I just found out on the iPhone, you can hold down letters to get other options.
Yeah, you can hold down, I guess you wouldn't need to, because everything's .com. But in England, it's all .co.uk and stuff like that. So you can hold down .com and it will give you .co.uk.
Oh, that's pretty
If
cool.
you have the British keyboard turned on.
I guess, does that work for the US one? I guess
If you
I don't
hold
care
down
that much.
.com, it gives you .net, .org, and .edu, I think.
Really? I didn't
Yep.
know that. I always
people
miss
that
that
really don't have a
.com
lot
key.
of
It's only on there sometimes, so I always miss it.
My friend started correcting the word the, but the E has a weird accent about it.
Well-
Like if I mistype the, it corrects it to the right word, but with the wrong accent.
Weird.
I
don't
wonder
know how that
So
started.
do you think
happening.
someone set up an autocorrect for you?
I know, he did that on mine, didn't you? We gave each other keyboard shortcuts that we weren't allowed to look at.
We played shortcut roulette, basically, where he gave me his phone and I set up shortcuts in his phone, and mine was brilliant, and it hit you like 4 months later.
Yeah. You changed the word party to a threesome with a dude I just met.
So he said, do you want to go to, because I wanted to pick a word that ended a sentence, typically. It's
Yeah.
like, what are you up to tonight? I'm going to a party. It was, if he wrote party, it changed it to threesome with some dude I just met. Do you want to come along? And unfortunately, when it came up 4 months later and it finally hit him, he was texting me.
Oh.
So I was like, God damn it, because I wanted him
You know
to
what?
text that.
You know when something's funny on text and you do ha ha, but a lot.
Yeah.
No.
He just did like ha ha ha. Ha.
My
2
phone,
lines of it.
my phone autocorrects now to if I do more than 3 ha's, it autocorrects it to like 8 ha's that are all capitalized. And
That must have been what you done. It does mine too. Ha 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 ha. Space. Aha. Doesn't make any sense.
Do you know why we discovered that you can make shortcuts on your phone? Because this annoyed both Gus and I. When we're playing MMOs, when you're going to meet someone in a different part of the world, you say, I'm on my way, but the abbreviation for that is OMW, on my way. Well, on the iPhone, if you type in OMW, it expands it to write on my way, but it gives it an exclamation point.
Yeah.
Makes you sound
don't
really
like that.
enthusiastic.
You don't want to sound
It also
really desperate.
capitalizes the O in on. So if you write like OMW, it's like capital O on my way exclamation mark.
Yeah, it's that exclamation point. It's that false enthusiasm that it puts on you.
Yeah,
so
I don't like
had to
that.
hunt it down and get rid of that.
I had
You
to
need
get
to
rid
show
of it
me how to
like,
do that because I don't know how to do
I had to
that.
get rid of it like 10 times. I go to remove it, it would be gone for a day, and then it would come back. And it took me about a month to finally fully get rid of it.
Autocorrect just decides to use my version of spellings whenever I'm like drunk and out on the town. Like tonight, if I spell tonight 1 letter wrong, it turns it into TONIGT, all caps again. And I only use all caps if like typically when I'm downtown with people. I feel like I have to yell over my phone because it's really loud.
Do you know how to caps lock your phone?
Yes.
I didn't know that existed.
I
either.
felt like a genius.
Oh, how do you do that?
An iPhone.
double
tap
tap the
shift?
shift and it caps lock.
You don't know that?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I totally knew that. Damn it!
Nice save,
Because
bro.
it's impossible to shift A on that keyboard because it just detects like the same push.
I feel like some sort of
What do you mean
genius
you
whenever
shift?
You don't
Hey.
have to hold shift, you know that, right?
Just tap shift.
You
and
just
then-
tap
double
it.
tap it.
What?
Oh
What are you
my
doing?
God.
Are you going like this? To...
Yeah, I'm like this. I'm holding it down. But because my thumb is,
fucking idiot.
I'm holding down shift and it's so close to the A that I can't press A without
You hold
pressing
down
I
the
did that
shift
for like
on
the
a
first
phone
month I had
keyboard?
it.
Yeah, I thought that's what you had to
I'm
do.
gonna blow your mind. Look, here, watch. Shift A. That's it.
Yeah.
You're going like this.
Man, that is so dumb. That is unbelievable. That's awesome even for you, Gav.
It's okay.
So I added a bunch of shortcuts to my phone once I found out about that. So pretty much like, I find when I'm driving and I want to text people, I tend to send like 80% the same text. Like, I'll be right there in 5 minutes, you know, or if I'm in Los Angeles, I'm running about a half an hour late because of traffic. So I just put all 3-letter symbols like CCC, AAA, all that, and then expands like something like CCC on my phone is, sorry, I'm driving the car right now and I can't text.
That's clever.
So just expand that, you know. So it's just like really quickly I can tap out a text while I'm driving, which I know is bad, but what the fuck?
You have
gonna do?
Siri to talk, dictate.
Yeah, I thought you guys were big fans of Siri when.
Who
when
the
new
fuck
iPhone
is a
came
big fan of Siri?
When
Who
it
said
came out,
that?
everybody was making a big fucking deal about Siri, and it made me
Yeah.
feel bad with my iPhone.
Because they showed it where you're trading with your friend, like taking turns. He would hold the phone and you would dictate to him, and then you would trade back. No, but Siri's awful because this is a total. We were trying to find out the biggest first world problem,
Yeah.
and I think up until this one, I said the biggest first world problem is I can't find businesses that will take $100 bills. Like they won't change them. That's the biggest first world problem. But now my new one is Siri doesn't work as well when it's connected over my in-car Bluetooth system because when I dictate to the microphone on the car, it doesn't understand it as well.
Wow, I can't think
yeah,
of
you
anything
sound
worse
like
than that.
Yeah, that is the ultimate first world problem. But no, Siri's a piece of shit. She's pretty good for making appointments and setting alarms, but if you want to dictate to her and have her, you know, transcribe a text you
I
want
like
to
that
send.
you call it her.
Yeah, no, I find that weird.
Well, it's a female voice.
Yeah, I know, but just
There's
something
nothing
about
weird
it's
about
not a
that.
real.
Well, mine's
one
a
good
dude
thing
voice.
is it can read texts well. So if you get a text and you're driving, you
Yeah,
can,
but
you can
does
have
it do
read
that?
text. Yeah.
No.
Mine sounds like a really posh dude.
Yeah, you have the British
Yeah.
You
Siri.
have the male one?
Uh-huh.
See, I have
I have to read my text like a commoner.
what phone do you have?
I have the iPhone 4.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Oh,
had-
we sell. Okay.
It's awesome. I had a flip phone from when I was 16 to like a year ago, and then I got the iPhone 4. I miss flip phones. I like being able to hang up on something
That was
like
satisfying.
Did you upgrade to iOS 6?
Yes, I
for your
did.
phone?
I've not
Are
done
you
that
happy
yet.
about that?
For the most part, yes. I haven't had any problem with maps like most other people. The thing I'm most unhappy with is the podcast app is broken. And when you listen to an enhanced podcast like the Rooster Teeth podcast, the pictures we put in and the links we put in aren't working.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Why would it?
So, but if you still get the audio, or if you listen to it in iOS 5 in iTunes instead of the podcast app, then it still works. It's just in
What
the
I've
pod.
discovered-
So the
What?
Apple technology that they invented and pushed doesn't work in the app on the product that they invent and push.
Pretty much
It's
the
like,
only thing it's going to be used.
way to fucking go.
What What they've also taken away is I can scroll down on all the podcasts I subscribe to. There's no button for like download new podcast.
Yeah, you
can subscribe and it would like get all of them. But what if I just want to see where the podcast is on iTunes? On the other one, it'd be like just get more episodes and it would flip around and you'd have all the podcasts to pick which one you want.
You can do that.
How?
Yeah, you just go to the podcast, you click on it, and then there's like a little down button. You just click on the one you want.
Yeah, it's an arrow pointing down, literally.
Today's podcast is all about.
You don't have to
Gavin how
hold
use
one
his
button
iPhone.
and then push another.
You know you can make phone calls on this too, right? It's amazing.
Lucky for you.
Here, let me read this thing here. I want to remind everyone that this podcast is brought to you by Audible.com, the internet's leading provider of audiobooks, with more than 100,000 downloadable titles across all types of literature and featuring audio versions of many New York Times bestsellers. For our listeners, Audible is offering a free audiobook to give you a chance to try out their service. One audiobook to consider is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. For a free audiobook of your choice, go to audiblepodcast.com/roosterteeth. That's audiblepodcast.com/roosterteeth. See, I give a...
That's why Mark Cuban came up in conversation before the podcast. Mark Cuban's company, I forget the name of it, I want to say it's like 34 Productions or something
He's
like that.
the Maverick guy.
They were the people who made The Road into the movie with Viggo Mortensen. Which is, if you've never read The Road or seen the movie, it is a post-apocalyptic adventure, but that's not really especially any kind of sci-fi, you know? It's kind of similar to Book of Eli, that kind of world where everything's just desolate and
It's almost like a Western.
Yeah, man, and it's like a traveling road trip, awful, terrible movie about a guy with his son just trying to make it through this horrible world, and it's
Sounds like a feel-good movie of the year.
mortifying. But there is a passage that is at the end of that book, and I'm not going to, of course, spoil it, but it is one of the most poignant things I've ever read in any book ever. I love Cormac McCarthy in general. In fact, I was a little disappointed to see that some of his other books are not yet on Audible.com, but there must be something about him as a publisher because it took forever for his books to come to some of the e-readers as well. So
must be
hopefully
tied
they'll
up
get
to
there.
that.
So one of the cool things I've noticed also that an iPhone does is it tracks your current period of calls and all that stuff, but also lifetime. So like the whole time you've owned an iPhone, I've had like 9 days on the phone or something. I didn't know what that lifetime one was until I got the next iPhone and then it all carried over. And I'm a big fan of like lifetime stats now. I want that for everything.
It's like the high scoreboard.
Yeah, I want to start a business based on a weighted toilet seat where
Go on.
it'll be called shitstats.com, right? That's my new business. And it like weighs each dump you take and the duration, and then over your whole lifetime, you'll be able to see like longest poo.
What I'd be more interested in,
Shit
like,
on the toilet seat.
no,
That's all I know.
it's measuring the difference in your weight pre
Yeah.
and post.
No, I'm not like taking dumps on the edge of the toilet seat.
The other thing I'd be interested in is it could measure the volume of the water in the tank and measure the volume of your poop.
Let's make this happen.
We're about to
Kickstarter for
Do you
shit stats.
I've never thought of this once. Like one time out
Dude,
of all the times
I
I've
want to do this to everything I spend so much time doing that I have to do. Like, I
Why
have
you-
to do a poo.
Why don't you weigh all your food and then weigh yourself?
Well,
That's
it.
well, that's just
I'm not
ridiculous.
going to do that because that requires me to do something. If it's a toilet seat that just does it as I'm going about my life.
There's our new first world problem. My toilet seat doesn't tell me how much
yeah.
shit weighs.
What
I
would
think-
you use the information
Why
for?
not?
Just like interested, just like okay, what is the most
Great
I
dinner
got out
conversation.
in the shortest period of time?
like, if you can track a
time
stat-
to weight ratio of dumps.
Do you mean like
if you
over
can-
days
if you-
or like in
No,
one
like say like
session?
you, it wasn't your shortest ever poo, but you shat the most that time compared to how long you were on it.
If you can track a stat, why would you not track it? You could
Yeah,
find
exactly.
something
Lifetime
like,
stats. Just
like
track
that's
them
why I
all.
think volume is better because you cannot measure volume of urine by weight, but you can measure it by volume
Yeah.
in the.
But
Why
Yeah,
can't
I'm-
you measure volume of
because
urine by weight?
if you stand, there's no way for the seat to.